Sorry, man, I had to go do something really quick. And it slipped my mind, as if all things don't. But we have to clean the print head on this Roland. So I'm just gonna set this aside on the ground and kind of give you guys a peek. The print head is exposed. Turning around, man, and we're just checking out the print head, right? It's already clean, and I have something right here that I think, or I hope that I brought. Cool. This is a big old headset. So let me get it turned on. Every one of you should have one of these. So we're going to be able to look like right up in here and just clean the sides of the head. And you know what we're trying to do is not waste a lot of ink. Man, I wish I had my stand with me. I'm just going to reverse the camera like this. It's extremely dusty where we had to move the printer to because of the snow, right? Well, if you don't know, it is pretty apparent, but I'll try to get you guys while we're cleaning under here. It's very fun, easy to do. And I'm gonna have to look through the camera because like I don't see my glasses in reach. Oh yeah, so this is what happened this is what happened after 3 weeks of fighting a kidney stone. I mean, it just kicked my ass. We're just wanting to clean that and make sure that nothing is on the print head. All right, so we're gonna have to just put that down for a moment. We may have to do two. So it's going to want me to put on the cover. So hold on a minute. So that the print head can move back to its place. And since the print head is out, right, we wouldn't want to slam it or hit it hard, but just want to make sure it goes in correctly. I'm worried about doing a video of it, and I shouldn't be. There we go. So it snaps back in, and the print head will move around. And you know, now we can come over here and clean our capping station. So this is the one problem with eco solvents, is that you do have to worry about cleaning the printer. Whereas if you had a latex printer, you could just kind of leave it. You'd still have to clean the heads though. Every one of these have to be put back. But now we're going to get a new Q-tip, or sorry, new foam tip right here. And we're going to go clean the wiper blade and the damper as well. Yeah, I gotta replace the coat rail. But at the same time, I have to clean back. So I want to show you, right, since since the time I got that kidney stone, and I still got one in my side, right? So you don't want to drive or nothing, man. So you just want to sit there and rough it out. Just cleaning the inside track here. And you know, we may have to clean the blade or the encoder strip as well. This printer has like a little slot that you put in to line up the screw, and you definitely want to make sure it's straight. There you go. Just kind of hard while you're trying to make a video and show you guys how to do this. Now we're going to put our plate back on. I'm going to have to put you down for this. There you go. Find our beloved screws. All right, cool. Man, I'm real thirsty back here. All right, so yeah, just trying to get that all done within 30 minutes. Wow. So it's going to run a cleaning now and be right back in shape, I'm sure. The Roland printers, man. So back to what I was saying, the Roland printers, they have the availability to have dual head printers, as does Epson. Epson has a dual head printer right now. It's called the Epson F3070, and it's about $40,000 for that printer. And you know, that printer with dual piezo print heads, dude, it prints 100 shirts an hour. And that's direct to garment. Right now the printer's just cleaning. So it does it by direct to garment. It's the fastest printer, and Epson has the capability to throw a roll in that printer. It's just a matter of adjusting some specs on the motherboard and they'll build it. They already have them. But I think they're going to be priced at, okay, so let's do a test print really quick. I think they're going to be priced right at, you know, $50,000, 40 to 50 grand, dude. They don't, I'm pretty sure they don't want to screw with little cricket mamas or anything. Like I'll get back in here, you know, tomorrow, and I just wanted to fix this issue right now. Well, anyways, the Epson F3070 is on the market, and it's known as the fastest DTG printer that I've seen. I mean, it's really fast. You do 100 shirts an hour. I mean, the Chinese printers can do 25 to 30 shirts an hour. They're printing very fast, without a doubt. And those are off 2-head printers. And there's a lot of people that reach out to me every day because on the Chinese printers, you have to align, you know, going side to side and height as well. So when you change your height, you knock your alignment off, and it's kind of hard to deal with. Which Epson has dual heads, but their alignment of their heads is so phenomenal. And it's what the Chinese printers cannot adjust. I don't know why, you know, unless they're very hard as you add print heads to them. So their motherboards are in many cases, you know, refurbished motherboards. They're repurposed, you know, and so between them and Roland, and I you know, I don't want to misquote myself, but the Rolands use Epson print heads on many of their units, and Roland has a brand of their own as well. But in the end, they're all Epson print heads. The difference is that the technology of the DTF printer from China is 30 years old. And you know, that makes a huge difference. I know what I wanted to do while that is cleaning over there. Just gonna do a nozzle check on these and, you know, show you, and then we'll talk about this Epson P6000 in part of the video. And I'm very nervous about this, you know, because what's happening is that vent up there is blowing straight down here, so this printers get invaded by dust, and it's something that I had to work at every single, you know, day or day and a half. You know, hold on. So, you know, making sure that this dust war is going to be eliminated is going to be a little hassle, without a doubt. Man, I think I have a station over here to print on. This one's asking me whether or not I want to change paper settings. And, you know, fighting this dust war, and you can see, oh, that's shoe prints. You can see the amount of dust that's building up from this area. So I may have to move the printer to a different room. But you know, it's weird because I survived it last year. But I just don't know if we had a lot of dust in the location. All the other printers are stored that I have in boxes, so they won't be harmed. But, you know, dust is something that has to be maintained and taken care of. So, hold on. I got that printer over there about to fire off. Starting to piss me off. I'm just going to close it off and delete it. One of the ways you can force a printer to wake up, just by hitting your delete button. All right, so I have no clue where I was at, sorry. Dust maintenance and printers and the work you have to do to keep them running, you know. Okay, cool. So Just gonna fire off a nozzle check in this one and see where we're at. So you gotta admit, 3 weeks is a long time not to go into your shop, right? But at the same point, you know, you can't drive. There's a lot I couldn't do. So how does the Epson P6000 USA version hold up? And I have some P6000 Asian versions in the room over there. Okay, let's see what this one does. If I get my magentas back, or if I have to, I think in this case I forgot to clean the blade. But I don't think I had to last time. I mean, there's... We're a lot better. All right, so we're gonna go and, just for the sake of time, clean off. If I'm a little loopy, right, it's because of the medicine to help me pass that stone, man. My brain is fried. Just temporarily, though. The hardest part about a kidney stone is when it travels down the back. Man, Jesus Christ. I have flashbacks of it. Alright, check it out. So, right over here, man, it's too bad there's no way I can get a flash. Hold on. I got this light, and it's a hard hat light, but it really helps us see in there because I don't have a flash on this. I don't have good light here, so now it's going to throw itself into a cleaning cycle. So I'm going to need to draw. Some cleaning solution on the capping station. My freaking light hardly works. Print head is racing back to us. And you know, we have to keep doing this to advance to very smart printers. You know, it's like the P6000 and those series are just very intelligent. Kind of do everything for you. There's a lot of dust back here. So it's something I battled with daily. let's see how this one came out. So we just hold this sheet out here. And of course, you know, you're perfect on these. It's amazing. So when you're, you know, finding one of these, people write in, you know, hey Ernest, we're gonna exit. You know, when people try to find these, they're like, well, you know, how much would I pay for something like a 9890? I said, in any condition that it's in, it's a valuable printer because Epson can repair it. You know, the parts are still there. I mean, I've paid $5 grand for them. You know, one I paid $8,000 for. So what happened is the supply dries up and Epson sees that there's a potential, you know, to sell a shitload of printers, which they're going to do it. And so Epson controls the market. They ship printers out of the North America region, and they come out with their own, and they bust us for, you know, $30,000 or 40 grand, and that's going to attract just the top people. And you know, it's the same thing Roland can do as well, which they're already working on their own. Getting better. I'm setting up the cleaning for every 5 hours. All right, so anyways, you know, they're going to do it. They're going to come out and crack us in about 1.5 years with a bigger and better printer. Both of these companies will. When DTF started, right, there was nobody that even wanted to do it. And they would think you're crazy. You know, Dennis Moon would be like, man, hey, dude, DTF's the way to go. And we all laughed at him, you know. And then I cracked open a little desktop printer and put some ink into it, and off we went. And other people from China were like, the things are great. You know how it goes. Well, the repair of the things and the maintenance, what makes those little desktop printers so terrible is that they're just not made to print a lot. The more you use them, the belts loosen, you know, the fuses start to go out, and you know, you start running into problems, and the print heads blow, and so you need an option number two. You know, you still want to use the Epson printers, and option number two is that you use one of the Epson models. And of course that's all there are, because there's no rip. I mean, in the beginning there was just a couple of crazy rips, and now there's a lot of companies that are, you know, wanting to be in the DTF world. See if I can hold you up like that. My knife. Hold on a second. Man. My wife's messaging me, seek Jesus, throw away. Do I want an Epson 50? Sorry, man, I'm doing work. No, man, I don't want an Epson $54,000 printer, dude. These printers are nightmares to store, right? A $54,000, maybe I would have, man. A $54,000 printer at a dealer discount is like, you know, 15% off. It's not a lot. So, and then that's where, you know, the money is made from your discount going forward. So I don't think I would want that printer, man. It's a big printer to maintain. It's direct to garment. But, you know, like I said, they could come out with their own DTF version very soon. And, you know, I'd say a year and a half or so, man. And give or take. And, you know, it'd be very interesting to see. The Epsons dominate the direct to garment industry. So, you know, I have two F2100s right over there. And dude, I wouldn't turn on a direct-to-garment printer if I was paid to. It's just too multi-step of a process, man. You got to do this, got to do that, got to pre-treat your shirt. I mean, it's a long process to print. Have to come in for a whole day and solve this problem, and then at the same time I got to worry about the little guy, and at the same time I got a stone that could break loose. You have to be so careful what you eat. And I guess I thought, the old days, I was like, when I grew up, take some vitamin C and eat a bowl of chicken soup. That's how I grew up. And when you're not partaker of that anymore, you're like, oh, screw it, what do you use? Not the only thing that chicken soup did was come from a myth that it's good to eat chicken, from a chicken sales slogan. And so every 999 minutes I set it to clean, which is there's 1,440 minutes in a day. Did this to me last year, and I had to run through several cleanings. But I was printing a lot last year with it. Sitting right in front of a dust vent. Other than that, man, just gonna work on this and get it cleared and leave. Yeah, nobody wants a big old $54,000 printer. I guess so. It's a lot of maintenance and work. I don't want any more. I don't want any Chinese versions. And maybe, if anything, I'd get a second eco-solvent. Other than that, I don't want any more printers. They're a lot of work, man. Each printer you got to work with and continually work with. Yeah, I don't know, man. I certainly don't want a Chinese printer. I just don't want to deal with the head alignment issues. And, depending upon that, if your larger Rolands ever became DTF, they'd become a major threat to the industry. Well, they would dominate. They're working on it, man. They're adjusting rips. Trust me, dude. They want to sell printers. And would I spend 25 grand on one? I wouldn't, but my wife may be like, that's a pretty good deal, dude. I'd have to see, because then you're just married to the thing. Just like direct to garment, you're married to the printer. What'd you say? Oh, yeah, right. So it doesn't matter, man. If the Chinese came out with one that could print it, 2880 by 1440, dude, I would absolutely be amazed, man. Damn, dude, I would be really amazed. And that's the problem, dude, is that these little printers, when you see people selling $3.50 transfers, they're just blowing through X1500s, or they're blowing through, just small little printers that they found, because there's no way that they're, the value is going to be at that point, that at 350 transfer. No way, dude. Very cool. My magenta's back. All right, so this is the progression, right? We do 0 more cleanings. Hold on. right? So we do 0 more cleanings because the more cleanings that we do, it's unnecessary at this point. See, now my magentas are back. And what'll happen is, of course, I could do another cleaning, but you never want to clean these too much. Like I'll come back tomorrow and the blue will be back. Just going to turn that off and then head out. So like you don't want to keep turning the printer to where you're doing cleanings. You just want to let the air and move out, and then the blue comes back. And that's what people don't do. They don't listen. I tell them, man, don't do a cleaning. Do a cleaning every 15 minutes, right? And when you see the nozzles change like mine did, don't do a cleaning at all. Just write down on a little note. What I do is write down on a little note what happened. So there's air in the lines. I could totally do another cleaning and waste line, or I could let it, waste ink, or I could let it sit and clean itself, which it's going to go through a cleaning in 999 minutes. I just want to check something here. Just going through the menu if you've never seen a Roland menu. I don't know if you can see that. Sorry, hold on, which way am I facing? Damn. Making all kinds of mistakes, right? And if you can see that, hopefully. There's a lot of functions in here, man. If you've never looked through the whole menu. See, there is telling me to adjust the print head, dude. You don't want to get there. You do not want to touch the print head. How to adjust your heater. All the presets here. Yeah, so you go through all of your, if you've never looked through any of Roland's settings, it's all pretty cool, man. If you've never seen through their old settings, I'm just going back to the main menu. Just gonna bail now. Let it sit. All that problem solved. Why? Because I know printers. One of the biggest mistakes that you can do, man, is just continually clean your printer. And by recognizing, the programming of the printer, you won't do that. Like I could run print on it now just to move ink, but I'm going to come back and deal with that in the day because I got to watch the baby. Chill out with the little man. And I do it because I love it, man. I don't go anywhere. Just wait a few moments. I'll do another one, why not? Supposed to be back by 8:30, and I'm like, oh, dude, it's way past 8:30. But I'll get my stuff together and then head on out. Let me see what anybody else said, if at all. Yeah, dude, I'm printing shirts at home because, dude, it hurts to pass a kidney stone. That's the whole thing that I forgot to, kind of really talk about is that, dude, those calcium pills screwed me up, and I couldn't go see my urologist because I'm not vaccinated. And he talks to me all the time, Ernest, you need to come in. No, dude, I don't want to. At this point, I could just imagine a backfire or something like that. Forget about it. It's just going to load up and then we're going to leave. Other than that, do I recommend small printers? No, dude, they're a nightmare. No, dude. If I had to start all over, right, and I could only start and get a small printer, I would get any of the ones that are near me. The most expensive part isn't going to be your printer, it's going to be your rip. But the small printers, you cannot run small printers at a shop. Epson P800, 600, P400, R1800, 2000, R2400. Man, those things cannot be used at a shop unless they're heavily converted, and they're not. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and run a test. So, they're not made for DTF. So I don't know, man, but I would use whatever I could. I'd maximize whatever I could. If I found one, I'd use it to print. The ones that are the best, man, the best in the world are the 4900s. If you're going to get a desktop, it's a big desktop. They're the best out there, dude. They can take abuse. I've seen them print. It's just that they're very hard to repair, very expensive. Because, for some reason, if your print head blows on that, your motherboard is going to blow. Those two are connected, where on a P600, sometimes your print head would blow and you'd throw one in and bam, you'd be printing again. But the 4900, that's the only negative, is that if your print head goes, if you get an A139 error, you're going to have to replace the motherboard in 9 out of 10 cases. But if you can get your hands on that printer, dude, 360 nozzles, you're firing 10 colors, so you can do your CMYK and your fluorescence. Dude, you're doing some damage. So that's the one that I'd recommend. That's the Merle Lewis. I'd recommend you try to find a 4900 out of the desktops. Hey, I know a guy that's got one. I've got a few of those. So beyond that, a smaller printer than a 4900 is just going to be your P800. And man, they're known to blow, dude. They're known not to last with DTF. If you're not abusing it, they'll last. And the maintenance on that thing is terrible because your colors can contaminate like they can on any printer. And, worst case scenario, you're always maintaining rather than printing. Hold on. Dude, you need to drink more than that. That's why I slam, I'll slam a case of these. That's just pure seltzer water. I'll slam a case of those a day and big old glasses of water because you have to flush that thing out, man. Fuck that, dude. It pisses me off. My wife poisoned me. She gave me vitamin C because that's what we always did. But, like I said, it creates oxalates in older people, sometimes younger too. Let's take a look around. The Roland printer. I love this printer, man. I had it refurbished by Roland. I just want to see if that blue line is there. Yeah, it's back, I think. All right, I'm not doing any more cleanings, right? Because started here, started there. After the cleanings, right, my magentas are back, and now it's just flip-flopping. So I'll come and deal with that tomorrow when I have plenty of time. But by the time I come back and deal with it, all the air will be gone. And 3 cleanings maximum a day you should do on these printers. All right, I'm gonna head